Chapter 10. Then everything went black, very black. Jack opened his eyes and he expected to be in heaven, but there were no angels in sight. All he could see were skyscrapers shining in the sun, standing before him like monuments to the gods. Slowly the sound of car horns blaring and the sounds of the city brought him back to reality. The sound of a coin rattling in a cup startled him, and he was surprised to find that the coins were for him. He was a vagrant, a hobo, homeless. He had shoes with holes in them and battered jeans and a t-shirt. He rose to his feet and took in his surroundings. All around him were imposing skyscrapers, and they made him feel small. After 5 minutes of wandering around, he began to feel hungry. He had no money and no way of getting any unless he begged, and that was something that he wasn't going to do yet. He sat outside McDonald's and watched people devouring burgers with relish, and his stomach rumbled like a subway train. There was a bin nearby, and he swallowed his pride, and he had a rummage, to the incredulity of the passers-by. Jack found a bag of French fries and a half-eaten burger, but he didn't care. He was starving. It was still warm, and he devoured it and worked his way through the French fries. They were salty and delicious. It was great eating out in the sunshine, he thought, but the sun was getting a little too hot, and he needed some shade and water. He passed a fountain and gladly scooped the wonderfully cold water into his hands, which he dabbed on his face and drank. When he felt full and refreshed, he sat down on a park bench and watched the people passing by. Children with balloons were licking ice creams and laughing and smiling without a care in the world. A carousel turned round and round like a kaleidoscope in the sun. Jack drank his Coca-Cola through a straw, and he began to feel content. It was then that he noticed a shady-looking character dressed in a blue suit. He appeared smart, but there was an angry look hiding beneath his smile. He was standing too close to the parent with children. He had his hands in his pockets, and he was whistling to himself. Jack sat up and he took more notice. To his horror, he saw the man expertly pluck a wallet from the back of a man's trousers and place it deftly and invisibly into the folds of his jacket. He went by in the blink of a rat's eye. It was obvious he was a professional thief. Then he moved on to his next victim. Jack wasn't sure what to do, but he knew that he couldn't sit back and let it happen again. He decided to follow the thief. The thief started walking briskly away from the scene of this crime. With his bounty, Jack jumped off the bench, and kept a few steps behind. He had morals, and he knew that he wasn't going to let him get away with stealing another wallet. He watched the man mingle with the crowds. He looked respectable, but he was not.